Sinner begins Nitto ATP Finals title defense against Resurgent Auger-Aliassime debutant Musetti faces last year's finalist Fritz. Jannik Sinner and Lorenzo Musetti will both proudly step onto court on Monday at the Nitto ATP Finals, marking the first time two Italians compete at the prestigious season finale. Defending champion Sinner opens his Turin campaign in the Bjorn Borg group with a night session showdown against Canada's Félix Auger-Aliassime, while debutant Musetti launches his journey in the Jimmy Connors group with an afternoon clash against last year's finalist Taylor Fritz. There are also two doubles matches in the John McEnroe group. British duo Joe Salisbury and Neil Skupski face Marcelo Arevalo and Mata Pavic, while Christian Harrison and Evan King meet Harry Heliovara and Henry Patton, who have a slim shot at taking ATP year-end #1 doubles team presented by PF Honors. 2. Jannik Sinner, ITA, versus 8. Félix Auger-Aliassime, Can. For the fourth time since August, Sinner and Auger-Aliassime will clash in a high-stakes duel. But can the Canadian finally halt a three-match skid against the red-hot Sinner? With his straight-sets victory over Auger-Aliassime in the Paris final earlier this month, Sinner extended his indoor winning streak to 26 matches, further cementing his dominant status in these conditions. Yet the Canadian, who fell 6-4, 7-6-4, in that tense match, believes that he is not far from catching Sinner. For me, it's not a huge gap. I'm getting closer every match we play against each other, Auger-Aliassime said of Sinner after their Paris final. This match was more tight. At the US Open, I managed to win a set, but I lost the first and the fourth in a difficult way. But what we say today was that it was close. To upset Sinner on home soil, Auger-Aliassime must take time away from the Italian, using his attacking instincts to step forward and finish points at the net. Sinner, by contrast, will look to control baseline exchanges and absorb pace before striking on the counter, a pattern he used to thrive on the courts at Inalpi Arena in the past. Sinner is also locked in a thrilling battle with Carlos Alcaraz for ATP year-end #1 presented by PIF Honors, but he must win the title to ensure he has any chance of securing that feat for the second straight year. 9. Lorenzo Musetti, ITA, versus 6. Taylor Fritz, USA. For Musetti, Monday will be a moment he has long dreamed of. The 23-year-old Italian arrived in Turin after a grueling 3-hour final against Novak Djokovic in Athens on Saturday and will need to recover quickly against defending finalist Fritz, who returns for a third year. Musetti owns a 3-2 Lexus ATP head-to-head lead over Fritz, though the American won their only previous indoor meeting at the 2022 Davis Cup Finals. Fritz, who advanced to the semi-finals in 2022 and the final last year, knows the value of starting strong at the Nitto ATP Finals. I've gotten out of the group both times I've been here, but I've also won my first match both times, said Fritz. I think that's a huge part. Getting that first win is so important. Last year I was hitting my forehand so much better than I was previously, especially on the run, and I'm hoping to do that again this year. Tactically, this matchup pits Fritz's firepower and efficiency against Musetti's variety and flair. The American's booming serve and penetrating forehand make him lethal indoors. Meanwhile, Musetti will rely on his all-court game, mixing spins, slices, and sudden net approaches to disrupt rhythm. His one-handed backhand, a shot of beauty and danger, must be sharp to keep Fritz from bullying with pace. In their 6th meeting, and first on this grand stage, it's experience versus novelty. Fritz will look to continue his rich form in Turin, while Musetti will hope to channel the energy of the Italian crowd and produce a breakthrough performance worthy of the occasion. Doubles action. Heliovara and Patton return to Turin for the second straight year, not only chasing the title, but also the year-end #1 honor. The British-Finnish pair arrives in top form after triumphing in Paris, though their first opponents, Harrison and King, have already claimed 2 indoor crowns this season and promise a stern test. Meanwhile, British duo Salisbury and Skupski, seeking their first title of 2025, take on Arevalo and Pavic, who have lifted 3 ATP Masters 1000 trophies this year and returned to Turin with unfinished business, having fallen in last year's final.